worked. Yay. All right, so we are live for once. My live feed has been kind of wishy-washy lately. So, of course, I'm probably going to be able to do this live tonight. And then tomorrow for the giveaway, I'm probably not going to be able to do it live. But, of course, I didn't bring any of my tools with me. So, let's put my desk here and get some tools, get some cutters. Make sure we got everything. So, let's go ahead and get this all set up here. When you ship me my printer. When you ship me my printer. You wish. All right. So we open up the box. We have the Geeetech E180 3D printer. Looks like a little startup guide. It's not really even a guide. It's just a parts list, more or less, and specifications. That's really all that's with that. Nothing really to write home about. Their typical mouse pad. I actually think this mouse pad is much stiffer than the one I got with the A10. Like, this is an actual mouse pad, like very floppy. This is like a hard plastic. It's very strange. Whatever. Again, I don't really use those. Here's a quick start guide. Basically, it shows you what you need to do to set up. Looks like this is automatically set up. So it looks like this is good to go ready out of the box from what this says. So let's try and get this open. It looks like it's taped together. So let's do some dissecting. Okay, so it looks like we got to pull this all the way out of the box. And this is so much fun doing this stuff. So, you know what? Let's try to put this upside down. All right. Nothing left in the box. Let's see what we got here. All right. So, looks like power brick. Let's see if we can find the opening for this. If we can. It's not tape, plastic wrap. It's not plastic wrap. Plastic wrap. Plastic wrap. Plastic wrap. All right. So this printer is a little bit different. It is a smaller printer. Obviously, you can tell by the box it's going to be a printer, a small printer. This retails for about, I think it was $250. So, I mean, not too bad of a price. There is a similar printer like this. I forget the name of it, but Micro Center does carry it. It's usually a black little machine, but this gives you a little insight to what it looks like. So it's basically a very small printer. The build plate is 130 by 130 by 130, so very, very small. Basically, it's just going to be a parts printer, if anything, and it might even be just like a family printer if it's going to go anywhere. Because I do have my Ender 3, which is there, And then in the background, you can see my other Geeetech, which is the Geeetech Prusa i3. Those both work pretty good. So I just have to install a MOSFET on that because I don't want to be burning down the house. All right, let's see what else is here. I'm dropping things. So we got a package of bolts. This might be the spool holder, from what it looks like. Mr. I didn't want to get a printer. That's right. And now I am the printer king. See, the problem is like I didn't understand that 3D printing was so like tinker oriented. Like I thought it was more work than it was tinkering. And actually, if you got a good profile set up, it's pretty much good to go right out of the box. So, but doing some tinkering here and there definitely helps out. So yeah, this looks like a filament holder, which we're not even going to really use. I'm not even going to put that together. So basically, when it's put together, it's going to look like this. So that's what it would look like. You got 2, 4, 5 screws, which actually it looks like you only need 4 of them. So not too bad of a setup. Nice little spool holder, very compact. So, but we're going to leave that off to the side because I do have spool holders on the shelf here that we're going to probably be using as well. So I'll just hold off on that. We got the other end of the power cord for the power brick. Yeah. Go ahead and plug that bad boy in. Thankfully, it is a US plug and not a European. Your standard USB 2.0 cable. High quality. I love these. They all come exactly the same. So again, we don't need that. Looks like it comes with a good amount of filament actually. Usually they give you a lot less. Like with the A10, this is what I got for filament. So definitely about double, if not triple, the amount. So that's kind of cool. That's actually kind of weird because this printer is just a little bit more than the Geeetech A10, and they give you a little bit more filament. What's up, Adam? Let's see what else we got here. We got a package of foam. No, I'm just joking. So it looks like, let's see what we got here. Spare nozzle. This is very interesting. So this must be a clip-in style, these new style ones, which I'm so-so about. So little black clip-in style. It's got 4 prongs for metal contacts. We'll just put that back because it's a spare and we don't want to use that. I love those blue flush cutters. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got those with my Ender. No, I'm sorry. I think I bought these ones. No, I don't remember if I got them or I bought them. You know, I have so many things. Looks like toolkit. So various Allen keys. Looks like an extra metal rod for something, which that might be for something to install. Screwdriver, Phillips head, and just your other normal ends and odds. I got the same cutters, came with the Ender 3. Okay, so it came with the Ender 3. Where did you get all those wonderful toys? I got a set with my CR10 and bought 3 more to have around. Yeah, they're great to have. And they're even better when you do PCB work because you can cut real close and still have a good contact. This one came micro SD card. Now, I usually say if you're going to use the SD cards from these, you should probably just end up replacing them because they're absolute garbage out of the box. So I can't believe I'm seeing that. This actually says 1 gigabyte, which I didn't think was possible, and I'm sure it is possible, but I haven't seen it in decades. So, but that's what it says on here, is a 1 gigabyte card, which obviously you probably don't need much more than a couple gigs to actually make it work. So I guess that's okay. Let's go ahead and actually open up this bad boy and see how it is. Chuck is the only one without this the same. Yeah, Chuck's left out in the dust. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can open this. All right. Gone. All right, so like I said, it's pretty much already set up, it looks like. Ooh, and they did give me an extra piece of blue tape for the bed. Got some extra. This is why I hate packing stuff. Styrofoam, specifically. So, looks like that is it. There is a screw here, so hopefully we can find the hole for that before we get this up and running, because I don't want to have anything missing out of this. So let's go ahead and take, oh boy, I hear things rattling around in here. This is not very good already. I hear things rattling around. So just double checking, because there is something rattling around in here, and I have no idea what it is or what it goes to. So I'm going to try and get it out of here if I can. Yeah, it's possible. Sounds like a screw, though. Got a couple screws loose. Which, I mean, it looks, at least externally, God, I got styrofoam all over me. At least it looks externally that all the parts are here, so that's at least a good sign. There we go. So it is another screw. Now these are little tiny screws, and they have some white on them, so I'm hoping that it's nothing important and it's just extra. But we will find out. We'll have to break this down after I see everything. But this is basically it. Very, very small, very compact. Like I said, it's tiny. What can I compare this to? The entire size of this is probably about the size of a CR10 build plate. So that kind of gives you a little bit of size measurement. I guess I could bust out a tape measure if I really wanted to, but basically, like I said, the build volume, like, here's my hand. Very, very small build volume, and definitely a very weird build volume, because it's more octagon shaped, or not. I'm saying that wrong. More box shaped than it is like a square. So this is a touchscreen, so it is kind of a nicer unit. Let's go ahead and get this plugged in. Actually, we're going to unplug that and just unplug the other Geeetech that I have here. I'm still testing out the giveaway unit, making sure everything works. So this is a 12 volts, I believe. Yeah, 12 volt at 8 amps. So very, very minimal build plate and volume and everything. Let's go ahead and insert our memory card. And then we will turn it on. So already just feels a little weird putting this SD card in. So apparently you got to put it upside down, which that's just strange to me. It is clickable though, so I like that at least. I'm not a big fan of the micro SD card slot, but you know, to each their own. Can't really complain for the price and what type of thing it is. Let's go ahead and try and get this in a good view. So we'll go ahead and turn this on. All right. So obviously this looks like it's more or less designed for kids. It looks very colorful and just, you know, kind of weird setup. By the way, that extra screw is crucial. If not inserted properly, the unit will fall apart when turned on. Acme rules. That's right. It's going to blow. It looks like something that Apple designed. Yeah, it kind of does. And it is a very nice looking unit. It's very professional looking. So whereas like, you know, the Ender 3, it looks like a machine. So, and the same with the Geeetech Prusa over here, that looks like a machine. This looks like a unit, like something very fancy, you know, very high priced, and it's actually kind of not. It's very reasonably priced. So I think maybe we'll use the regular old filament, just because I don't need more filament flying around. He look like a machine, yes. I might do that because this might become my son's. So let's see. I'm just going to throw this on the floor, and we're going to feed it in here manually. So normal style extruder. There's a tab at the back. Press it in, bring it down. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we're going to go ahead and put printing. And let's do, I don't know what's what, so let's go ahead and just print the first one, if we can, if it'll let us. So let's see. Start to print. Choose the test file Geeetech for printing. Click the button print to start printing, which I didn't see a Geeetech. Did I? I didn't see a Geeetech. So let's go with the G code because that's a GCO. All right, so I didn't really set this up or anything. It does have a spool holder. It's kind of a weird one, which I'm not even going to set up because I'm going to be using my own thing. But this is basically the spool holder. So a nice little stand. See it in the background there. Not too bad. It's a nice little stand to stick out. But like I said, I'm not really going to put it together. It requires 4 screws. It's not that hard. It's very simple. So looks like, okay, so this does not have a heated bed. So PLA is the only product that can be put through here. So that's the only downside of it. But I mean, for a small printer, and if it is supposed to be kid-friendly, that's probably best because you don't want a heated bed around children. I mean, a heated nozzle is bad enough. So, you know, I'm fine with it just having a heated nozzle. So while we're at it, we might as well just put this together, wait for this to heat up. It is heating up very quickly, though. We're already at 163 out of 210. So it's already got a sweet spot set up on it. So that's kind of nice that it's already set up for 210, because normally that's our that's normally my setup is 210. So, but like if I'm using my inland stuff, it's usually set up at 225. So not too bad. 210 is pretty good for general filament. So let's see what it does here. So I can see already that we need to adjust the bed. So let's go ahead and adjust the bed because there ain't nothing going down there. The question is, how do we adjust the bed? Okay, first off, let's go ahead and stop this. This is a very nice touchscreen. Do you want to kill the job now? Yes. So we're going to go ahead and kill the job whenever it decides to kill it, actually. Ooh, I can smell the filament now. Did I not kill the job? There. So yeah, it wasn't really printing anything. It was kind of printing in error. So we'll readjust it in just a quick second here. We'll set up the spool holder so everybody can see what it looks like. So okay, because I did a normal video and then I uploaded it to YouTube off of this camera, and the audio was just atrocious. I mean, it was crackling something fierce. Okay, good. Yeah, the video should be good. This is a Logitech C922. So this is like about the best HD camera you can get for the money right now. So, but there you go. There's the fancy little spool holder. I guess we can put the spool up on there if we really wanted to. So it seems like this is all metal construction. So that's a good thing. It's a plus for sure. It was going down and it was sticking pretty good too. Throw that back there. So I can tell you right now that the entire bed needs full adjustment because it is wobbly to high hell. So let's see if there's any information about adjusting this. Highly doubt that. Because I know in the A10 there was no information in it. Could it hold a spool? Oh yes, absolutely. I'll give it a test here in a second here. but it's set up very nice. So, and it looks like usually it's on a roller, it's on an extrusion bar, and usually there's centric nuts that you use to adjust it, and well, there's not any centric nuts that I can see. So here, we'll take this off and test out one of these spools over here. So here's one of my spools. This is pretty standard size. So there you go. Fits very nice. It's very high up in the air. So as you can see, there's the gap. So there's probably a good 2 inches, 3 inches gap. So it's pretty good. Let's see what we can do here. So it looks like the bed itself cannot be leveled. At least not that I can see. It might be able to be leveled through the tape. I'll have to see about that. But I'm trying to see. There's no extra tools that it comes with. So that is very nice, that spool holder is very compact and very, very nice. We're going to go ahead and unplug this, because I don't want to be working with a live machine. So let's see if we can try and figure out how to fix this linear bar. So do I have to take off the entire bed? That's what it looks like. Which is actually not too bad, because it looks like there are 2 screws on each end, one right here and then one on the front as well. Let's see if we can take that off, and that should allow us to take the entire bed off. And of course, I don't have the right size tool, so let's go to my little desk back here. Get all the tools that I just put back up over here. See which one is one of them's better. A ton of different sizes. So. I picked the right one first time. These are in here pretty hard. That's what she said. So I can tell already that this is probably going to be a real pain to get back on here, but we'll see. Because it's like threaded, but you know when you can feel metal threading on metal and it's like off, like you're almost cross there threading it. That's what it feels like taking the stuff off. Loose, tight. Always got to remember that. Loosey, ready, tight. My electric screwdriver is over there, but I do not have the size that I am using for this, and it's not strong enough to get these screws out because they are inside of metal. So they're just a tad bit too snug for that. So let's see. Take this off now. All right. So there's our plate. There's our under plate. So that's actually a pretty nice flat plate. That's very, very nice. And what's nice about it is you could see just how flat it is. You guys probably can't see that, but it's very nice. And it looks like the springs are already pre-adjusted, so that's kind of nice. But this is our problem. See how wobbly that is? Yeah, we can't be having that. So there's no centric nuts, so that means we're going to have to tighten this in some way, shape, or form, and figure out how to tighten it. So obviously, probably these we gotta tighten up or loosen to get them ready. So that one was really loose. That one was pretty loose. Pretty loose. That one's pretty loose. So still a little loose, not too bad. So let's see if we can push one of these over. Tighten this up and not too much. Looks like we still have a little bit of wiggle in the front here. Don't get too much. Yeah, and you know what, the A10 that I took out of the box had the same issue as my under 3. So I mean, basically, the QC on these printers are okay at best. So you know, there's not really much to say about them, in all honesty. They're all just kind of like thrown together and call it a day type thing. Thankfully, I know what I'm doing. No, but Geeetech's really wanting to be Creality, so I mean, why not, you know, do that? So now I can see I tightened it way too much because now I'm having some shaft stuttering on here. It's just it's binding basically. So we gotta smooth that a little bit. There we go. Just don't like that wobble. That's the only thing. There we go. Much better. Get this very, very low wobble. A little too tight. All right. So now it looks like we are good. There's a little bit of wobble, but it seems like it's good enough to me. So, and let's go ahead and cut these out so I can see where the screws are. Probably should have grabbed my other X-Acto. And most likely I'll probably end up putting a glass bed or probably even a mirror on here, just because at some point I might put an ABL kit on here. You know, usually people would think that, but with actually reality, they do have a QC department in their factory. And I only know this for sure. Well, I don't know it for sure, but from the video I saw, there was their representative. I forget her name, but she's basically the face of Creality for nerdy people, and she went and showed off a tour of Creality and how everything's made. Basically, after the whole YouTube thing went down with the CRX and Joel Telling basically saying it's a piece of crap, and Angus saying the same thing. So they were pretty pissed about that. So they need to do some damage control on it. Yes, Sexy Naomi. Yes. Naomi Wu, I think her name is. Which is very strange for a Chinese company to have a woman as the face of the company, because that's just not like heard of over there. And so basically with anybody that buys 3D printers, no matter what they are, you know, whether need it be a $200 printer or a $1,000 printer, always, you know, check everything after you set it up, because that's what's going to happen. I just always go for first print because that's what I normally do. So let's go ahead and hook this back up and see where we go. So let's see which one is for our bed level. That is that. So let's go in settings. Oh, another cool thing about this is apparently it has built-in Wi-Fi. Now, I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, obviously I know what Wi-Fi means, but when it comes to printing, I don't know what that is. So let's see about connecting automatically. Connect. So this must be some new type of thing that you can set this up automatically. So let's go ahead and see if we can set this up somehow. So the server is Geeetech.net. So this must be their software, but I'm trying to figure out where the info is to connect this. Screen calibration. That's nice. That's very nice to have. Language, factory default, okay. Connect automatic. Okay, that's great, but I want to know, let's go to control maybe? Filament leveling. Oh, well, that's really cool. It's got a leveling feature, which, like, the CR10 has that too. So basically, it goes to 5 points on the bed. I think it's 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So from back to front, basically. And that's basically where all your settings are. So we can go, I'm sorry, so yeah. So here's number 1. So let's go ahead and set this up. And some balls. Yeah, it might be, which that would actually be pretty cool if it's for loading prints, because we're going to 2. I love having this feature on really any printer, because it kind of tells you, like, hey, this is the direction you should be. So even if you're a complete noob, you can decipher, like, all right, this is how you should be leveling it in this location. So this is probably going to be way off because I'm terrible at bed leveling, but we'll see here. Quick sec. But it has to be done because we took the entire carriage off, so. It does not have an AVL, no. All it does is have auto bed leveling, which in terms is correct, but it's not. So what it does is it has a grid. You go ahead, you press the number on the grid, and it'll move your hot end to where the bed is, and then it'll go. Yes, it is super loud. It sounds like a machine, actually. Right. Now it looks like we're good. Cut that off just there. All right. Center should be pretty good. We're probably going to be a little close there, but better safe than sorry. We'll take a look at it when it goes up. Elements. Okay. Speed. Okay, we're good. And we're good. Okay, so now we can go into printing, and let's go ahead and print All right, so now it's going to boot up. We chose the E180 Hubba 05, HUBA 05. So that thing is super loud. By the way, I fixed the white cloudy bottom print with baby stepping. Yeah. Basically, what that was is it was smashing it too much. It's not terrible. It's not a really big problem. But if you want cleaner prints, you can do that. Also, it might be able to be fixed if you use a heat gun across it. It might smooth out the color. So I'm not really sure, but you could test that theory out. But that's, like I said, I just know what I was told. So we'll let this heat up. I'm trying to see what is what here. So that's speed. This looks like layer. That's extrusion. That's my fan. I don't know what that is. Maybe the bed. So it's possible you can add on a heated bed to this, but I probably won't. It's probably not even worth it. I'll try it on one of my other prints. There you go. All right, so we're just about up to temperature. We're at 195. And our temp is at 210. So the fun thing is adjusting printing. And unfortunately, this has got such a giant like setup, this bar and this print head. That's the problem, because you can't see where it's printing. So I guess I could remove this shroud if I really needed to. Shouldn't be too hard. It looks like it's just 2 screws. And that way I can see a little bit better, because it's almost impossible to see the print, because the print is right above the head and right above this part, so you can't really see it. I probably can. We'll have to see. So we're just going to have to let this run and see how it comes out. Let's see if I can see where this is at. Yeah, this is very hard to see. So like on the A10 or the Geeetech Prusa i3 or the Ender 3, I can adjust accordingly if I needed to at any point in time. But on this, it's almost impossible to adjust. So I'm just going to have to let it print out and see where I go from there, which is not my ideal thing, but yeah, we could always do a bed leveling setup and go from there and do it that way. That might be a little bit easier. But it looks like my back left side is a little too close. And I only know that because of the way that the brim went down was a little close. Can a coffee cup be printed? Yeah, it might not be solid, but it'll print it. Now my like Geeetech Prusa right there, this one, that can definitely print one, and so can the Ender that's right here. Yep. Yeah. So, like I said, it's just a whole like, it's like a chemical reaction with the filament. So, and I literally just found that out, that fix that I just told you today. Like I was watching a video and somebody was doing that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my prints are a little weird looking on the bottom. You know, they're kind of ghosting a little bit, I guess they call it." And he's like, "Oh, I'll just run a key gun across that, and it'll change the color back to normal." I was like, "Oh well, we'll see about that. Will it be able to hold hot coffee?" No, it will not. The reason being is this printer only allows PLA, and when you hit PLA with any type of elemental structure, hot, old, it basically breaks down almost in an instant. It becomes very, very brittle, very soggy, and it's not a fun thing. If this had the ability, if it had a heated bed, I can probably print like PETG. That would be good enough. But the problem with that is it's got ABS inside of PETG, so it's like an in-between. So pretty much all ABS is very toxic. So you don't want to eat out of it. You don't want to drink out of it. You don't want to do anything like that. So it is not ideal for printing stuff that would be in the elements. So stuff for inside your car, you know, like you want a phone mount for your car, you can print that, sure. But you put it in any type of element and it's going to destroy itself. So it's kind of a pointless print at that time. So, but for food, for anything food related, I highly suggest against anything that's 3D printed. I mean, you can use it, but I suggest against it because it's just going to give you more hassle than it does something cool. So, you know, and on top of it, because of the way that it's lined, so like this is a Cubs coin, and you know, as if you can see, there's lines all in it. So you can kind of see the lines right here and how it's printed. So if I got food that was stuck in there, it'll basically create salmonella, contamination, poisoning. So like if I ate chicken off of that or anything that had to do with chicken and I went to go and wash it, it would wash, but it wouldn't wash everything out of it. So it's kind of like porous almost. So it's not ideal to use anything 3D printed with food. Even though there are 3D food printers, that would be about the only time that you can do that. So, what about a handle for a Yeti? The handle is on the outside of it. Yes. Yeah. Again, for something like that, I would say just in case, I would print it in ABS or PETG, and you can print a handle, no problem. Like I have a Yeti upstairs, so mine's like a tumbler actually. It's a thermos. So it's just a silver, you know, bricked type thing. So there's no handle on it or anything. So essentially I could make a type of handle for it and get it to work. So basically what I would do is I'd make a large ring that fits into the top. So that way the cup slides all the way down and then it hits to a point where it grips. And then I would take that, make a handle off of it, and then on the bottom I'd have another round part that would again snug up to the bottom of the cylinder. So that way you would have kind of like a ring. So but so far so good. We're at 9%. Not the greatest looking prints. I think it may have burned a little bit on when we restarted it. I don't really want to put my finger in there because it will probably chop it off. There we go. So yeah, we did burn it a little bit. Not the end of the world. But it's not too up. Hello. No. Did his thing come? Pop Funko? Okay.
Oh, that's new one?
Yeah. Testing it out. It's got Wi-Fi on it too, so I don't know what, how that works, but we'll have to take a look. Because of course the instruction manual will say nothing of the sort. For detailed operation steps, please make reference to E180 3D printer user manual online at geeetech.com, where you can copy it to your computer from the TF card. Oh, yeah, cool. Stay in touch. Geeetech. So Easy Print. Let's try and set up Easy Print from the phone. And download this. Easy Print 3D. Geeetech. It's semi-quiet. The fan's a little loud. It's probably quieter than mine. It's definitely not as quiet as that one.
No, yours.
Silent.
Why did you want to see it?
What?
It's fun.
No.
Probably the free ones for them all.
Oh yeah.
That might be mine.
I have no idea what it's printing. It's one of its test prints. Is your wife getting cravings yet? Mine is, and she keeps buying tacos. No, not right now. She didn't really the last time. I took her cravings for tacos and sushi and any other food. And then what? I'm gonna be taking off right after this. I gotta go meet Lena. So if I have time after this, then yeah. Mhm. All right. Well, I'm not going to have you guys sit here. It's only at 20%, so I'm going to go ahead and end the live feed, and I'll post up my results afterwards. So thanks for sticking around.